There it is. Alright, alright. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Give people a minute to get here. I got 3 more of these gifts to do, and I really want to get them done before I move out. So, yeah, we're back again. If I do more gifts, chances are they will not be in a stream because, man, I'm so awful about actually being consistent with doing streams. But hello, people, hello. Welcome, welcome. Pleasure to see you. So for anyone new to this, or hasn't checked out one of these streams or whatever, I'm basically doing gifts for friends. I'm doing the draw your friends OCs in your style. But some of these people, I don't know if they'd consider me friends or not, so this is more of the draw your mutuals OCs in your style. Because there's some people I wanted to do gifts for, but I just don't really talk to them often, so I don't know if they would actually consider me a friend or not. So, you know. So some of them are friends, some of them are friends, and some of them are just mutuals on DeviantArt. So, yeah. Hello, hello. Hello. Let me get a color here for whenever I start doing this. Aren't you done with this? Nope, I got 3 more. Here, if you want to see the ones I've already done already for anybody new, we have this one, which I did for Wallace NT. Wallace-NT. This one I did for Mandersea. And all these people are in DeviantArt, by the way. This one I did, I believe her new username is Hazia. This one for Twisted Disaster. This one for Aerofex Dracona, and then this one for Quantoplos. And those are the 6 out of the 9 I have finished right now. And I got 3 more to go, so we'll hopefully get 1 more done in this stream today. So, yeah. Alright, so the 3 I have left is this character by my friend Baba Boo. We have this character by Pencil Tree, and then this one by Glamist. So these are the 3 I have left, who are all ironically sketched in shades of red, which was not intentional, but they are all sketched in various shades of red. So, you know. So stream, take your pick. Got like an old scientist man, we have a crazy circus lady, and we got a mask guy. So yeah. We'll just flip through these. Old Men's Mask Boy, do the last one. Dr. Man, Red. Old Scientist Men's Mask Boy. Crazy Circus Lady, Crazy Lady Mask Boy, the Man, Mask Guy. Circus Lady or Mask Boy, Scientist. Do the 3 one? Mask Boy, Circus Lady, Mask Guy. Oh god, this is a really torn. Seems torn between Mask Boy and Circus Lady. Alright, well, you know, in previous streams, he's been one who's requested a lot, so I'll just go ahead and do him. I'll do him before Glamist can change his design again. If you can't tell, there's 2 references here, because, let me circle this. This one was the one I originally got when I sketched him, but she updated it to this one. So, which obviously has a totally different jacket than the one I sketched, and I'm a little bit salty about it, because I don't want to go back and change it, but we're just gonna we're just gonna merge the two designs together because they had to go and blindside me like that because I didn't tell them I was making a gift for them, so... and plus it took me so long to actually do this character. So I'm just gonna kind of, like, somewhat merge the two together a little bit. Just, like, I'm probably gonna keep some of the pins and all that sort of stuff on the new one, but, and the color of the gloves that they changed it to, but I'm gonna keep the jacket on the old one because that's the one I drew, so... You know, so we're gonna get started here because the faster I start, the least likely this will crash in the middle of me drawing. So that's the goal here. I'm gonna just start with these glasses off the bat, or we're gonna start with the hair, kind of, just in the face area. And of course, like in the previous streams, if you weren't here for them, you're free to ask questions. But I'm also drawing, so if I don't get to your question, it's nothing personal. They do appear at the top of my screen, but that doesn't always mean I read them, because I'm usually focused on drawing. So you're free to, if I miss a question, you're free to ask it again. Just don't, like, constantly spam if you could. How was my day? My day was good. It was a little bit busy today. I recently got back from a vacation to Hawaii, so I'm a little bit pooped, but, you know, a little bit, still recovering a little bit from jet lag, but, you know, time zones are quite a thing, aren't they? Oh, goodness, okay. Both love and hate short hair sometimes, because, because I have to do, it takes so much more work to make it look fluffy. What part of Hawaii did you go to? We went to the Big Island, specifically in Kona. So we were there. We went, like, looked at the lava park. We went, saw the stars. We snorkeled with dolphins and junk. Saw some sea turtles on a black sand beach. That was pretty neat. We also... Never in my life would I ever had assumed that when you're getting on the boat to go snorkel with dolphins, would you see a huge sea turtle just swimming in the harbor. Like, that just never... That's not something I ever fathomed could happen. But yeah, that was really cool. It was really nice, and the water was really clear, and it was nice. I'm not a very outdoorsy person, though, and I'm also a vampire, so I got, like, my skin just totally roasted while I was there. My feet look the most like, horrific, because, I wore these swim shoes that have, like, a lattice, design on them or whatever, so there's holes in them. So on my feet right now, there's, like, dark patches of, like, brown skin, and it's like, it looks like I have some kind of serious medical condition, but it's literally just sunburns that are still recovering, because of the way my shoes are cut. And if you, like, put my feet side by side, you can see they're symmetrical, so you can kind of get the idea that they're from shoes, but when you see them by themselves, they look, like, bruised and beat up. Yeah, it was nice. How is Fan Fun going, and how many entries? I have a lot of entries for Fan Fun. Like, when I told you guys that if I don't do your request, it is nothing personal, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Because I have so many. I'm still working on it, though. I think some people got the impression that if I didn't do yours, like, immediately, that I wasn't gonna do it at all. Like, this is something that's gonna go on for, like, as long as I can make it happen. Because there's just a lot of different things, and it takes me a while to make those videos, because first I gotta do the art, and I gotta record it. Then I gotta actually record lines and talk over the videos, and then I gotta do, like, my Patreon shoutouts, and I gotta do the fan art, all that stuff. Speaking of... Shoot. In my newest one, it just dawned on me that I didn't do fan art in that video. Dang it. I'll have to edit that in. Because I don't want to go back and edit it now, because I don't think there's a good place I can edit in fan art. I'll just have to make a note of it. I'll have to go back and edit it. But dang it. It just dawned on me that I didn't actually put fan art in the newest one. But yeah, I have the second one, if that's not clear enough. I just have to now put in something that says I didn't do fan art in that video. But, shoot, 1 second. Hello? Hi. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. 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 Okay. Alright. Alright, love you too. Sorry, that was a phone call. Hang on. Okay, 1 second. I gotta look through my emails real quick. I'm still here, I gotta look through my emails for something real quick, so, talk amongst yourselves. Okay, there we go. Alright. Sorry. Alright, I'm back, sorry. I was looking for an email for something. I'm working on some stuff for school. Anyway, references do not help? References do help. I'm assuming that you mean that jokingly, but they do help. In the case that you mean that seriously, they do. I'm assuming you're joking, but on the internet, I'd never know anymore. Well, if they don't help you, you might not really be using them right. A lot of people will think that references aren't helping them, but they're not actually using the references properly. I'm about to, like, shock some people, but actually a good way to use references, especially for poses and things, is to actually trace over the reference first. And that sounds crazy because, like, tracing is awful, but what I mean by that is that tracing for study is a super common practice in the professional world. People do it all the time, and it's not wrong. You just have to trace it, and then you have to redraw it by looking at it. It's what I do. Well, then you just need to practice more. It's like, listen, it's this. I know nobody likes to hear practice more because it doesn't solve all your problems, but that's the reality of it. You have to just keep doing it and keep getting better at it. Because that's just, like, it sucks, but there's a reason why art is a skill and it's not something that just everybody can do, and it's because it takes a lot of time and practice to hone your skills for it. There's a reason why people actually go out and buy artwork and why it's like it's a skill set. So, I mean, it's similar to learning a language. You don't just learn a language by reading one book about it. You have to, you know, you have to actually like practice it and do it over and over and do it for a long time before you ever actually get good at it. What are your experiences with toxic relationships online or IRL? Sorry for the. Well, I've actually never been in like a romantic relationship, so I have no experiences with those. I haven't had any like overtly toxic relationships. I have had some bad friendships. The most notable one being the one I had in elementary. Not elementary. In elementary, and then it ended in like beginning of middle school. Because at the time I was young and I was very desperate for friends, and so like I had like two friends, and one of them just was I didn't really see the writing on the wall that she was not a good friend in the slightest. Like, you know, just literally like how our friendship ended was that one day out of nowhere we were having a totally normal conversation, and out of nowhere, and I kid you not, I'm not making fun of her, this is the voice she had. She said, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be ignoring you, so bye, and she just walked away. Like, that was how the friendship ended, and to this day I have no idea why. The only hint I got of what it might have been was that I think it was like she had a quote unquote boyfriend at the time. I only say that in quotes because in middle school it's like the second you get into 6th grade, everyone immediately thinks, "Oh yeah, time to start dating." Like it's bizarre. But I only say that because it's like there's no one really knew what they were doing back then. But so the only hint I ever got to like what I did to quote unquote ruin that friendship was I said something in front of her quote unquote boyfriend that she didn't like or something like that. I don't know. Like it was weird. Obviously I don't talk to that person ever again anymore. Yeah, I don't know. It was, and I'm glad I don't, because they weren't really a great friend, and I have a feeling, I have a succinct feeling I probably wouldn't be friends with them even if that didn't happen anymore, so, you know. The other one I had was an online friend, ex-friend, who, I don't want to talk in too much detail about it, because I don't want to, like, stir up a whole lot of drama about it, because it's done, it's over with, and I don't want to bring it up. But they, for months actually, kept talking to us, even though, like, as a friend, even though apparently behind our backs on a website that not a lot of us used. I'm not going to name which one. It's not like an obscure website, but I don't want to name it because I don't want anyone like trying to do any detective work or something like that. Like a lot of us didn't use that specific website in as opposed to like DA or anything like that. So while they were still quote unquote friends with us, they were constantly talking like massive shit behind our back, like calling us things that we weren't are. They called us like biphobic, even though like two people in the friend group at the time were bi. And on top of that, they I think they called us like those demons on Discord or something like that, which we made a joke about because we were so frustrated. That was like the only way we could get over it. but it was extremely, like, frustrating, and just to have them saying that shit behind our backs, and then out of nowhere, they just left Discord and DeviantArt, like, out of nowhere, and we were actually, like, genuinely scared something happened to them. And when we went, how we even found those messages, was because we were so scared about what happened to this person, to this friend, that we went and saw it. And then, like, literally we were in a voice call, and one of our friends that was looking was like, well, that's interesting. And that's how we found all those posts. That was very clearly alluding to us, even though, like, we weren't any of those things. Gosh. And then on top of that, like, there was another, this is what pissed me off the most, because they had a lot of characters and stories with us. A lot. Like, we were sharing a lot of stuff. And they just basically dropped that. They didn't give us any opportunity to change that or fix that. There were... one second. Yeah? Yes, I forwarded it to you. Okay, sorry. Anyway, my mom does not know I'm streaming. Anyway, sorry about that. But, at one point, like, so we shared a lot of stories, and there was even one where, like, I'd made characters for them for their story, and I had to outwardly tell them, like, you better not use those characters anymore, because you've lost the privilege to use the characters I made for your story. That I was considered... The reason why I did that was because I didn't give them to her. They were still considered my characters. Which is why I said that. Had I actually given them to her, I wouldn't, like, say don't use them. Especially because one of them was meant to be an AU version of a different character. So I was like, nope, that's still my character. You're not allowed to use them. So you better not touch them. But anyway, one of the most frustrating things, though, was that there was a time during this when I bought, like, our friend group a bunch of these themed adopts that were for charity. I'm not going to say specifically which ones, because, again, I don't want people going hunting for them. But I bought them for charity, and I bought all of them. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give them to you guys, and we're going to make, like, a little story with them. It's going to be cute. It's going to be, it's going to be fun or whatever. So they obviously got one of them. And I need to make note of this. I did not force that character on them. I literally asked them, do you want one? Because there were 6 adopts, and there was 7 of us at the time. So there was one other person that it could have gone to, and one person wouldn't get them at all. And this is what's super frustrating. So I gave them the character because they said they wanted it. I asked them, do you want this character? And they said yes. And apparently, though, they had a much different recollection of the subject, because one of the messages they had behind our backs, in the hashtags, it said, #thanks for giving me a character that I didn't want, directed at me, the person who asked them if they wanted the character, and a character they didn't have to take. And it made me extremely angry at the time. I'm over it, by the way, now. I'm not, like... I'm just telling this to fill, like, story time. That's why I don't want to, like... they did at one point come back, and they did apologize to us properly. There's other stuff with that, but I'm not going to get into it. But they did... So it's not, like, do not go try to find who this person is, because it's not... It's old. It's done. But it was funny, though, because whenever that happened, I contacted them, and I basically told them straight up, like, if you really feel like I forced that character onto you, then you can give it back to me so I can give it up to somebody else who cares about it more. And, of course, their response was like, oh, you're right, I did say I wanted it, I'm sorry, I'll just refund you the money. Which they did. I'm not saying they didn't. They did refund me the money I spent on the adopt, because you know, like, just because of what I said. I didn't even ask for a refund. They just said that, you know, apparently they just made up the fact that they didn't actually want to keep the character. They were just exaggerating to make me seem like a horrible person for buying them a character. How awful am I? I don't know. It was really stupid, and I just could not fathom how they saw that as a bad thing. You know, like, how I was the bad guy in that situation for getting them a character that I asked them if they wanted, that they apparently did want because they kept it afterwards. And they were even willing to pay me back for it. Like, it was silly. It was silly, and it sucks, but that happened, and it really did kill something that me and that friend group, like, really enjoyed, which sucks, because we've tried to get back into this, like, a certain specific thing that we had before, and we just can't do it now because it just got so tainted with the situation. Which is fine. It's not like, it's just a sad thing to reminisce about, that it had to end on such a really sour note. There were other things with it too, unfortunately, but, you know, it is what it is. But that's the closest I've ever had to having toxic friends, I guess. I wouldn't really call that person necessarily toxic, because they didn't really make, like, they didn't, how do I word this? They didn't, like, make me feel horrible. It was just that they were very, at the time, I don't know how they are now. They could have changed, and I don't want to take that away from them if they have changed. At the time, they were extremely two-faced, and it was very, like, it was a really dick move, like, to put it in the best way I can. So, you know, that's why I don't want people going to hunt for them, because for all I know, they've totally changed and they don't do stuff like that anymore. I don't think like that. But it was just, how dare you buy them a character? I know, for charity. How dare I? Anyway, but yeah, it was that was a tie. Hopefully they're a better person now, I hope. Okay, let me think. That's supposed to be red, so I'm gonna leave that not colored. Okay. Hands, hands, hands. Hands. I got them. I got the hands. Good hands. Fresh hands. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Feet are hard. I feel you there. Feet are a difficult beast. I always have trouble when I do feet, usually. What shows are you into? I haven't, I mean, I'm into some. There's a lot of Netflix shows I'm into. I really like Nailed It. I like food competition shows, yet for some reason, I like it more when it's like, I used to like Cutthroat Kitchen a lot. Now I can't like watch it anymore because for some reason on demand, they only have two flipping episodes of it. But yeah, I like Nailed It on there. I watch Forensic Files sometimes in the background. I liked Skin Wars a lot. That's on Netflix. It's an old show, so there's no new seasons of it, sadly, but I really liked that show. Midsummer Murders, which is basically like a bunch of miniature movies, because every episode of those are like an hour and a half long. I'm into things. I'm into shows. I haven't really been able to sit down and really watch some shows though, because there are some that I have wanted to watch. But I can't like. I know I can't really do it. Like I never can find like a time where I want to just sit down and watch something, I guess. Yes? Oh god. Okay, give me a minute. I go downstairs. I swear I've been running around like all day. Please, please, iPad. I gotta run down and do something, and I swear to God, this iPad better not go into sleep mode and crash on me, or I'm gonna, like, throw a tantrum. Hopefully this will be fast, though, so I'll be right back. Okay, it's still alive. Hooray. Alright, okay, I'm okay. Everything's good. Everything's A-okay. I had to go sign some real quick. Okay. Alright, so back to what I was doing. Okay. Oh, I need to do his eye. I should do that. There we go, that's the eye. ball. Let me sit back up. All right. All right. One second. Sorry guys, one second. All right. Okay. All right. Doing a sleeve. Doing a sleeve. Doing a sleeve. By the way, guys, you're still free to ask questions, by the way. I know I'm being quiet. I don't have much to say right now. And I'm focusing. And if anybody asked questions earlier that I missed, you're free to ask them again, of course. sorry, it was a message to someone. All right. I'm not sure if you've answered this before, but what part of the drawing process tends to be your favorite? For example, for me, it's line art. I like sketching a lot. Personally, I used to hate doing line art. It's a little nicer for me to do now. But I tend to like sketching a lot. I also do like shading, depending on what it is I'm shading, because I like playing around a little bit with like just making things look 3D and all that stuff is kind of fun. Yeah, but sketching's probably my favorite out of everything. Do some little more liney things. All right. Oh, hang on, I need to do a thumb real quick. All right, there we go. Da-da, he is lined. Da-da, he is lined.